Welcome to our YouTube news channel, where our primary aim is to keep you up to date on the most significant global events. In today's broadcast, we will focus on a topic that has recently gained considerable attention: the proposed supply of weapons to Russia and Ukraine by foreign nations. This development could significantly impact the ongoing conflict in the region and the balance of power between these two nations. Our team of committed journalists has been closely monitoring this story, and we have collected exclusive insights and analysis from leading experts in this field. We invite you to join us as we delve deeper into this complex issue and provide you with the most relevant and current information on this rapidly evolving situation. Canada transfers 8 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine's General Staff. As part of military aid, Canada has already sent 8 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine, as per the Facebook page of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Tuesday. The tanks were transported by a CC-177 Globemaster III aircraft of the Royal Canadian Air Force under Operation Unifier. The report expresses gratitude towards Canada for its support and assistance. On April 14th, it was reported that all 8 promised tanks had arrived in Poland, with the first 4 being previously delivered and Ukrainian tankers trained on them. German Leopard tanks are failing in Ukraine. Russian state media has reported that the NATO standard Leopard tanks being delivered to Ukraine are unsuitable for use in the battlefield. According to a report cited in the Russian Pravda outlet, the donated tanks did not undergo proper inspections, and many of them were left and used in warehouses for years or hastily repaired before delivery to Ukraine. Kyiv had repeatedly requested Western-made main battle tanks, such as the German-made Leopards, before their backers finally consented to the deliveries in January 2023. These NATO standard weapons represented a significant upgrade in capabilities for Ukraine's military, which had previously relied on Soviet-era tanks. Several countries, including Canada, Poland, and Portugal, have donated Leopard tanks to Ukraine. During the NATO Iron Wolf military exercises on October 26, 2022, in Belgrade, Lithuania, a Leopard 2A6 main battle tank of the German Armed Forces, the Bundeswehr, took part. As of late March, Berlin confirmed that 18 Leopard 2A6 main battle tanks were donated to Ukraine, but according to Russian sources, these tanks have not met the expectations of the Ukrainian military. Questions have arisen about the readiness of some of the committed vehicles, with reports that some of the promised tanks were sourced from storage. Prior to Berlin's commitment to provide Leopard tanks to Ukraine, the head of German military manufacturer Rheinmetall reportedly told Bild that Leopard 1 and Leopard 2 tank stocks must be completely dismantled and rebuilt. It is unclear from the Russian reports which type of Leopard tank is falling short of Kyiv's requirements. Newsweek has contacted the German and Ukrainian defense ministries for comment. Citing an anonymous Telegram channel called Resident, the Pravda report stated that an unnamed source claimed several Leopard tanks failed on their first run-in, and the supplied artillery shells were of poor quality. However, this account has been denounced as Kremlin-backed by Ukraine, and Newsweek has not been able to independently verify these claims. Despite these reports, Berlin confirmed in late March that it had donated 18 Leopard 2A6 main battle tanks to Ukraine, with German Federal Minister of Defense Boris Pistorius expressing confidence that they could make a valuable contribution on the front line. Last month, Alexei Reznikov, Kyiv's defense minister, confirmed that British Challenger 2 main battle tanks had arrived in Ukraine. Additionally, Leopard tanks donated by Poland were delivered to Ukraine in late February, according to a statement by Warsaw. Apart from the Leopard 2 tanks, Ukraine has also been promised shipments of earlier Leopard 1 tanks. On March 11th, the Danish Defense Ministry stated that these tanks would be delivered to Ukraine in the spring. Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands have committed to refurbishing at least 100 Leopard 1 tanks that are no longer in use by the German armed forces. According to Spain's Minister of Defense Margarita Robles, Madrid's shipment of 6 Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine would be dispatched in the second half of April. 4 more tanks were expected to follow after undergoing repairs, with the shipment originally scheduled for April 9th. In late February, Robles informed the Spanish newspaper La Vanguardia that some of the Leopard 2A4 tanks promised to Ukraine were being kept in poor conditions at a military facility in northeastern Spain, requiring restoration. Ukrainian tank crews finished training on the Leopard 2A4 tanks in mid-March in Spain in preparation for the upcoming spring operations that have been long anticipated. The Western-supplied battle tanks are expected to be deployed by Ukraine in an upcoming spring counteroffensive, although Kyiv has not revealed any specific details about its military plans in recent weeks. Reznikov stated in late March that the tanks would be deployed in a counterattack based on the General Staff's decision. However, he also noted that the timing of the deployment would depend on the most appropriate moment. Ukrainian soldiers train with PT-91-20 tanks donated by Poland. During a press conference on February 24, 2023, Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki announced that Poland would supply an undisclosed number of PT-91-20 main battle tanks, MBTs, to Ukraine. Poland has been a significant contributor to Ukraine's military support since the beginning of the war. The Polish government has already provided over 230 T-72M and T-72M1 tanks, as well as 14 German-manufactured Leopard 2A4 tanks from its military stockpile. In response to the 2014 annexation of Crimea by Russia, Poland has provided military aid to Ukraine, including weapons, ammunition, and military training. In 2021, Poland's Ministry of National Defense announced that it would send additional armored vehicles to Ukraine. As a NATO member, Poland has worked with other NATO countries to support Ukraine by offering training, intelligence, and conducting joint military exercises. On April 14, 2023, during a joint press conference with Austrian President Alexander van der Bellen in Vienna, Polish President Andrzej Duda announced that Poland's military aid to Ukraine is currently valued at approximately 3 billion euros. The PT-91-20 is an advanced version of the Soviet-era T-72 main battle tank, developed by Poland. It features significant upgrades in armor, fire control systems, and engine performance, with a 125mm smoothbore gun that can fire various types of ammunition, including anti-tank guided missiles. The tank incorporates advanced passive and active protection systems, such as reactive armor and laser warning receivers, to increase survivability on the battlefield. It has been in service with the Polish Armed Forces and exported to several countries, including Malaysia. Iran started receiving Russian Su-35 fighter jets. As part of its agreements with Iran, Russia has initiated the transfer of Su-35 fighter jets to the country. A video showcasing a warplane flying over Iranian airspace was circulated on social media on Tuesday. The footage captured the moment when one fighter was landing at Mehrabad International Airport in Tehran. Observers on the ground reported that at least 3 Su-35s, manufactured in Russia, had arrived. In December 2022, Western intelligence sources reported that Russia would provide military assistance to Iran in exchange for Su-35 fighter jets. The Biden administration has accused Russia of increasing cooperation with Iran and providing advanced military equipment, including air defense systems, helicopters, and fighter jets. Last fall, the commander of the Iranian Air Force announced that plans to purchase Russian Su-30 fighter aircraft had been replaced with plans to acquire Su-35 fighter jets. In January 2023, Shahriar Haidari, a member of Iran's Parliamentary Commission on National Security and Foreign Policy, confirmed the agreement to buy Russian fighter jets. He stated that the aircraft would be delivered to Iran at the beginning of the new year according to the Iranian calendar, which is after March 21st. Russia has also provided training to Iranian pilots to operate the Su-35 fighter jets. In March, the Permanent Mission of Iran to the UN disclosed that Iran had completed a contract with Russia to acquire Su-35 fighter jets. The exact number of fighter jets and the total cost of the contract were not revealed. Originally, the planes were intended for Egypt, and a contract for their delivery was signed between Moscow and Cairo in early 2019. The deal was reportedly worth $2 billion. However, Egypt later declined to take delivery of the aircraft, potentially due to concerns about the flight characteristics of the Russian Su-35. During 2022, 21 Su-35 fighter jets designated for Egypt were based at the Komsomolsk-on-Amur aircraft plant, named after U.A. Gagarin. There has been speculation that Moscow and Tehran may have reached an agreement for the transfer of fighter jets in exchange for assistance in the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Write your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion is very important to me. Also subscribe if you are ready to be aware of recent military news.